Okay, thanks, Robbie. Thanks for doing this. So, a great bit of news this Saturday with the upcoming Bath game. How excited are you by the return of supporters in the ground here?
Yeah, really excited. It's what football's all about, and it's not quite felt real yet, I guess. Especially here at Melbourne Park, and having the fans back on Saturday will be great. And I know it's a reduced number, but I'm certain we'll gradually build that number up as things become more COVID safe and that disease starts to wane, hopefully. But yeah, it'll be great to have fans back in the stadium and get that buzz around the place.
And how do you think it'll help the team? Because I thought it helped Havant on Saturday, because I thought it made the game a bit quicker as well with the fans being there.
Yeah, it did. It certainly makes a difference. I mean, the fans do play a big part, and when you've got fans cheering you and even officials' decisions, you know, they can go with you if you've got the fans screaming for decisions. So even things like that, little things like that will help. And I've got to say the volunteers, while we haven't had fans, have been amazing. And you see the work that they've done this week. I remember coming to the last home game and seeing 5 or 6 of them cleaning up the moss from the bricks out the front, and chatting to them, and they're all still so positive about things and couldn't wait to get back. So I'm so pleased that they can come and watch us play. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to them seeing us play and how we're going to perform on Saturday.
Okay. There was obviously the leagues below us have been paused, so people were wondering about the dual registered players that we've got, especially Andy Fennell, and how their progress has been.
Yeah, and Andy's been doing well for Heybridge. They like to keep him, and they will keep him. I'm not sure there's just one thing, maybe lots of little things. Other than the bigger budgets, I could maybe sign Messi. I think the players might say warmer showers. But yeah, I think there'd be lots of little things rather than one big thing. Yeah, times I'm time poor, but I've always liked to keep myself busy. Even as a footballer, that as well documented, they get lots of free time. I was always doing stuff outside of football, setting up businesses and further education, learning Spanish at one point. I think I did. I can't remember any of that now. But I've always liked to keep myself busy and develop myself as a person. So I like to keep busy, and my downtime with my daughter is amazing too. A lot of them, actually. A lot of them. We're in talks now about our development pathway, because we certainly don't want to lose all of those players, or certainly want to keep more than one of them associated with our club. So we're speaking now about our development pathway and what that includes, whether that be a reserve team or an under-23 team, and I think that's key to the long-term future of the club. And I think that'll breed success, and everybody likes homegrown players, don't they? And to see a first team full of homegrown players will be amazing for this football club, and financially as well. I was down at Exeter, and that's their model, to bring through their own players and sell them for money to keep the club going and keep them progressing. And I think that's a fantastic thing to do, and think that we can certainly aspire to do that. And the boys have had a great FA Youth Cup run, an absolutely great, and there's some great players in there, and we want to keep them involved in the club.
And Ipswich last night beat Fulham 3-2 after being 2-0 down in the next round, to show you what a good opposition they were.
Yeah, I saw the game was on actually. I didn't know the result. But yeah, Ipswich, I mean, that game, Ipswich were really impressive. I was really impressed with them, and speaking to Ipswich's first team players, you know, 3 of them train with the first team on a regular basis, and you can see that they were very good on the day. In actual fact, they said that playing against the likes of the Chelseas and the Liverpools, that's another step up in terms of youth. So, God, they must be frightening, those teams.
And also, Reggie Gregory's obviously made his debut, the first new academy graduates come through. I don't know if you realised he was our second ever youngest player when he came on.
I didn't realise that, no. I think he's Patrick Bamford in disguise. I really do. I think he could be as good as Patrick Bamford in my eyes as well. He's technically fantastic. He's still a boy, like you say, he's still so young. And when he becomes a man and fills out and gets the physicality of men's football, he's going to be a really, really good player.
And obviously we've already got Danny Imre in as a first team regular.
Yeah, and Danny's, I knew, which is why I gave Danny his chance really, I knew he was physically ready to play men's football on a regular basis, and he's got undoubted and obvious talent, and I don't think he's a player that unfortunately is going to be with us for a long time because clubs are already sniffing around him. So. Yeah, I hope there will be a reserve side, and I'd like that reserve side to be playing competitive men's football. I think to go from academy under-18s into Conference South football is a big step, and you do get your wild cards like your Danny Imre's that will take to it like a duck to water, but there are times where players will need that extra year or two to develop, and playing men's football to really develop, and for me as a manager, I guess, to see whether they will be ready and good enough in the men's game, because it is a different game to youth football. So I hope there will be, and I think it's always nice to keep it in-house as well, because you have an element of control over perhaps style of football and way they play, and influence on that reserve side. So I really hope so, and like I said, discussions are still ongoing with that, and yeah, let's hope we progress with that quickly. I think Churchy's probably having the best season that he's had in years by his own account, and people that have been at the club since he has are saying that he's playing his best football since being at the club. I think the same of Ches. Ches has been fantastic this season, and him having that them 2 games out with COVID isolation, it was his first start at Havant, and he showed signs of what we've missed. So to get them 2 back in the side will really help us. And you know, we've got some other young talent in there. Obviously we've got Billy Crook as well, who we know is a fantastic footballer who can create with his passing and his movement. He's not quite up to speed yet with his fitness. He's had a bit of a stop-start season. Missed a lot of, well, he didn't do anything in the off-season. He had a kid, so he didn't do much in the off-season, and then coming back into pre-season, he's picked up little niggly injuries, so he hasn't quite got going yet. And the same with Ratey, picked up little injuries, and he hasn't quite got himself going yet. And young Callum Harrison, pre-season was fantastic, and he had a little dip in form, which young players do. But I thought he was excellent against Havant, really, really good. And I think we're definitely creating chances. The stats will show that we're creating great opportunities. It's now fine-tuning those opportunities so they're more clear-cut, and I feel that we've perhaps been getting into those really good areas and perhaps rushing the final cross or rushing the final pass or having a snapshot and not really being set to have a good controlled shot at target, and that's something that we'll definitely be working on. Yeah, I've been asked that a lot. Obviously, I knew I would if we were going to struggle for goals. I knew people would ask that, and it's certainly in my head that maybe I should. But I really believe in the players we've got. I really, really do. And as a manager, I have to back myself for us to be able to score more goals as a manager. And it is in my head as a possibility. As I've said previously, it is really tough to do both, particularly from the start of games, because your focus is completely different. When I play, although I was always a team player, your focus is on your own performance, and I can't do that. As a manager playing, I have to focus on the team performance as well, and I do wonder whether that'll have a negative effect. I do wish that we'd have an Essex Senior Cup game or two, for me to perhaps give myself a run out and test that. And I did test it a couple of times in pre-season, and I felt like it left us short with me on the pitch than me off it. So it's a really good question, and it certainly has been in my head. And in fact, my colleagues have asked the same questions, and I've thought about it a lot, and I'm still thinking about it a lot, if I'm totally honest. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. Hopefully I won't have to, because we'll start firing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Wayne Rooney at Derby. He's given up playing as soon as he became the manager.
Yeah,
so
it's tough,
like Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, it's tough, and obviously I know Russell Martin really well at MK Dons, and he made the decision straight away that he wasn't going to be a player; he was just going to be a manager. And Rooney, I think he had 2 games where he kind of played both games, and then he decided, no, I need to step away and focus on management. So it's tough, and mentally you think you've got it all sussed and a good plan and route to go, and then one game will happen or one result will happen and you'll change your mind again. So it's something still to ponder. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, 100%. It's a great competition. You've seen teams like Gosport, I remember, got to the final, and you've seen teams at our level. Brackley won it. You've seen teams at our level. It's a real possibility to win a trophy. So I'll be taking it very, very seriously. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Robbie. Thanks for asking all the questions. Thanks for all the fans for asking them as well. And finally, any message to the fans as they're coming back on Saturday? Yeah,
real thank you to them for them questions. Please keep questions coming into yourself and Chris and Cristiano. We want to create a community club and we want the fans to feel part of this club. You know, you're not just supporters. You're part of this football club, and you're what keeps us going on the pitch. And to have you back on Saturday will be amazing. And thank everyone, including the volunteers, for all their support so far. I know results aren't perhaps what you'd like, and trust me, the performances have been good. And I can't wait for you to actually watch the performances. And if we keep performing like we are, results will turn, and we'll give you something to cheer about, I promise you.
Okay, thanks, Robbie, and look forward to seeing you all on Saturday.
Thank you.
Bye.